I just changed the micro output and now it seems to work better. Thank you. Oh yeah, I like that. Delete hidden, close holes. But we want that color. Okay. Yeah, the thing with sculpting and modeling, or like talking to your guys, responding to what you say, is the reason why it is so hard. Looks kind of like a superhero right now. The reason why this is so hard is that every time you do something else than like just sculpting, for example, you kind of leave this kind of state of just focusing on like one thing. For example, just sculpting and having some fun here. Every time you answer somebody's question or look at a message, read a message, whatever it is, every time you do it, you kind of interrupt this the state you were in. So I think it's key. I think that comes with like just doing it a lot. You know, I heard Robot Pencil as an amazing illustrator and concept artist. I heard him talk about that as well, and he said it took some time to be able to design, to like talk, and actually do like stuff that works, that is cool. Because what I'm doing here, like all of this is like decision making, right? All the time I'm thinking like what does work, what does not work. Hey, Praline, welcome. I'm here to interrupt the workflow now. I'm probably looking for a bit. Yeah, welcome. No, I think I mean, it's super nice having you guys here, right? Because for me, this is like super fun, and helping you guys with this process, or if you want to learn 3D or you have questions, I'm here for that. I'm all self-taught, so I'm just happy if I can help you guys and share what I've learned. So yeah, this is not for making excuses. This is simply for like I have to learn this, and I have to get used to it. And I think then that's much better. But yeah, I just have to learn that, and it will take time. So again, consistency is key, and I will definitely try to stream now once a week. I'll start with once a week. Let's see if I can finally pull that off. All right, what do we got here? It still looks, I kind of like this line. It still looks like a superhero. Let's see what we do with that. And I need my Epic pen. This is such a cool little app. It's always good to have. To just like draw on top of what I do. Sometimes it helps me to understand what I'm doing or find like interesting shapes. And then just by like redrawing them or figuring out what I could do different, you know, you get some ideas of what could work and what not. I think that's why concept work in 2D feels so good, right? Because there are literally no limitations. In 3D, you're kind of limited in terms that you actually think about how you could build stuff. And that's kind of dangerous, I think, because this kind of interrupts this process. And once you worry or you worry too much about the tools you're using, you cannot focus on design. You're just focusing on the tools themselves. This is why it's so much easier to focus on the modeling aspect first and then on design and concept later, when all these tools are like easier to use or come like more naturally. Of course, I don't want us to look at her like bald head. So let's insert like an object here for her hair. I've come to realize that I rarely do hair. Not even sculpted hair. So maybe I give that a shot today, because I never do it. Maybe some like stylized kind of hair. Let's give that hair a color. Something weird. Green. Something like that, maybe. I like it. Fill the object. I kind of like the fact that her eyes turned green as well. So let's fill that too. Okay, cool. I actually thought about that, I think yesterday, that what can you do if you feel like too much in your own head or being on a plateau, always doing like the same things or like having issues to like get better or you feel kind of lost, then I think stuff like this like really helps. Just like taking a part of your usual workflow and then try to do that different, that like one part. And this might lead to a new workflow, new ways of doing things. I think on one hand, it's good to have like habits, you know? Habits make you think less so you can focus on other things. That's why for me, like consistency is so big. Because if you're just consistent with what you do, then you will probably improve. Because like a lot of decision making, a lot of things you do will become subconscious. So I already like this a lot. I want to focus more on a mask itself. I don't want to get like too carried away with like a superhero feeling I have right now, but I also kind of like it. Maybe just because I like this shape overall. Maybe I should save now. I think it's a good time to save for the first time. I don't want to repeat this mistake like from a few weeks ago where I just lost everything. Okay. Let's see. Let's call it The Mask. Super creative working title. And save. All right. Staying hydrated. Ah. And I feel like her head feels like a little lost, so I'll append another sphere to have some kind of body, so it's not floating that much. If you want, we could use channel points to remind you to save. How does that work? I'm so new to streaming. I haven't actually looked into channel points and stuff. I just like started like streaming more regularly like a few months ago. But yeah, maybe that's a good idea. I mean, overall, ZBrush has the ability to save files pretty good. It does some kind of autosave. There's also like this quick save feature up here. But even overall, like I feel like the recovery from when your program crashes is pretty solid. Still feels like she has a very long neck. I like long necks. Maybe that's the thing. Okay. Let's just keep it like that for now. Nothing too fancy. And give this a color. Okay. All right. Back to the mask. So I'll copy it here because I overall like where it started, but I want to be like more destructive. I feel like you can become like too careful when modeling, because especially if you already like something in the very beginning, you will not destroy it. You know, you won't make like any big changes anymore. So this is why I just make a copy to allow myself to go back anytime. And just I call this and this is actually what I really enjoy, messing up the canvas, you know, like an artist with like an empty canvas just throwing paint on it. So this is literally what I'm doing. I'm just changing the shapes a lot and see if anything clicks, if I like something. Just being like a little more drastic. Sometimes intentionally destroying what I have. Just for like a chance to end up with something cool, something new, something you haven't done, or like a cool shape or design language you can continue working with. I don't like this part, so let's get rid of it. Make it simpler again. Maybe overall, I think it's a good idea to just cut this away. So I can only work on that. I actually want this part to feel like a classical mask, like one of these Venice masks or something like that. So that's why I'm already like separating it here. Then let's see what we can do. I also like working with this Sculptress Pro with like a bigger brush size, because then automatically my topology is much lower and I can make bigger changes faster. That's why I like this mode so much. So I'm not working that much with Dynamesh anymore in this kind of phase, because I just like the way it behaves. I still know people who really love Dynamesh, and I still use it for like hard surface stuff, especially to have like even topology. Kind of like this up here, but I don't know if I'll stick with it. Makes it so evil. I don't want something too evil or bone-like. This is not what it's not what I want. Hell, I can't even watch horror films. I'm like, I don't know. It's not my thing. But maybe I should do a, like, I don't know, maybe 1 month where like everything is like much more dark than what I usually do. I think just for like the contrast of things I do, that could be actually pretty cool. Maybe just a dark month with like a certain topic. Are we going for supervillain or superhero today? I'm not sure yet, to be honest. I'm not sure. It still looks a lot like it. I think I have to make this shape simpler again. It just feels weird. I'm just trying to do stuff today that I normally don't do. Trying to push myself to try like other things. For example, let's take her face. I always struggle, or I barely do any artworks with like red and green. So maybe, for the sake of it, let's throw some red in here. Okay, okay. When you say you push yourself, flattery, I'm melting. I mean, pushing, I mean, we all tend to do stuff a certain way, right? So I think we all struggle with this. But I actually don't think that I'm like talented or creative or anything. Not at all. When I started studying, I saw that it felt like everybody else in the room was more creative and more talented. They drew better, their concepts were better. When I started studying, I felt like so lost. But there was something I was really good at. And that was variations, very fast and quick. Overall, having like a fast workflow and being like very consistent with what I do. This was something I learned in like my second semester or so. Because in the beginning I was not demotivated. I was motivated because everybody was better, you know. It was amazing, actually. But that's why I think that everything comes down to just like practice and really enjoying all this stuff. I mean, I still do like all these like little sculpts just for fun and not worrying too much. It feels like this little child just playing for the sake of it. He'll be a superhero and a good polite guy. That would be like a superhero, polite guy, saving you the right way, always sticking to his principles. This is actually something I'm going for. I think the reason it looks so aggressive is probably also this area here. I want to keep the nose that you can actually see it. Maybe I show more of it. This still looks like too evil. Let me just carve away here. Maybe something like that. I also kind of like the hair and the color, so maybe I just copy that and see if I can do something with it. Whoop. Okay. I kind of like it. Maybe, oh yes, behind the mask, like so. Now we're talking. Also creates some asymmetry. Even though still it's like symmetrical except the hair, but it breaks it nicely. Just a little bit. I like it. So let's do that again on the other side and see how that looks. Not that cool. But I don't want symmetry. I just want to use this somehow. Maybe shorter. Just see. Oh, it's actually quite nice. Maybe something like this, but more subtle. Right now I'm looking more in terms of like composition wise, right? Let me see, like flat color, like so. What do these shapes like actually do to the like overall flow of this composition? I can really recommend changing like to flat color, especially in the early stages of a design, to like really see what you're doing to the silhouette. It's too weird. Maybe even less. Let's change back. Claudio, hey, welcome. I'm sculpting Solen for you. Actually, I just started with a mask and I decided that I rarely use red and green, so I just started with that today. Whoops. Actually, like the fact that the nose is a little red. Dos io, hola. ¿Qué tal? What? You guys knew each other? Yeah, I think that's good for now. I like it. That's the hair for now. Let me get back to the mask. And save. Let's save. Ach was, das ist ja witzig. All right. The mask feels heavy, if you ask me. Probably push it way back. And maybe like let it move around the head a little more, like so. And then it does make sense with the hair, right? Because if the mask looks like this, then it would hold the hair back. Yeah, actually funny that you two know each other. But there are not many people as well who use their full name. All right. So the thing is, yeah, that's kind of cool, but it's still too heavy, too much. I want this to feel lighter. So that's why I'm making it smaller again. I don't want it to like overwhelm everything. The mask is a part, but it should not dominate like the entire scene. All right. What did the mask look like in the beginning? More like so. Ooh. What do I like about this one more? Probably the top part. Also the eye area. Maybe it's not that, maybe I get rid of this. And I like the fact that here the hair feels, I don't know, fits better, right? Or do I simply start from this and abandon the other one? Yeah, let's just continue with this one. Make another copy. I also like the fact that this looks like a little like hair itself. It's this kind of nice flow to it for the ears. And the funny thing is that it just kind of worked, even though I didn't have the hair in the beginning. Yes, 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 getting closer. I want to do something more drastic to the silhouette. This is why I'm pushing the mask out here. Kind of like it. Maybe not too much though. Oops, did I break symmetry? Why is it not mirroring? Am I doing something wrong? It is mirrored. Okay, I'm just stupid. The hair is not symmetrical. I just have to move the hair back so it works again. Maybe like fully back? Yeah, actually it looks good. How it looks from the front and then from the back. Woo! Yeah, we don't worry about this area for now. I have so many files where it looks like super cool from the front and then you turn the camera and you're like, what happened here? Okay. So back to the mask. So I think I kind of was lucky at the beginning because I like this overall eye shape a lot. Especially because it's so simple. I'll probably get this a little closer. Let's do this for now. Okay. So now that I like the overall shape, I kind of like this idea of like, you know, with Venice masks, you have like all these little details, especially like on the sides. So I kind of want to do something like that here as well. I'm really like a big fan of Venice masks, but I just don't like the fact that a lot of them look so super creepy and like clowns. But overall, I really like them. Okay. So let's draw a mask and extract something like this maybe. Yeah, looks good. And then we see where we take it from there. And no, it's actually another subtool, extract. Yeah. Okay, color-wise, what do we do? Too often you work on details that nobody sees or don't contribute. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's very, very important to just be aware. Let's make this mask maybe brighter. Yeah, I like that. Especially when you work with concepts, right? Then it's super important because everything is time and you want to be like as efficient as possible and create like many, many results. You're always like searching, looking for cool shapes. And then you part of it is being fast. But overall, I think that when you're like learning, when you're doing stuff for yourself, it doesn't hurt to invest like more time into projects. It doesn't always have to be like super efficient and make a lot of sense, you know? I think that's also very important to get better because you can always end up, you know, just doing like one bust after another and then you never learn how to solve these problems that occur when you're truly sculpting something that has to work in from all different kind of angles. But overall, yes, it's about what does make sense and what doesn't. I just want to have fun for now. Again, it felt like this got too overwhelming, but sometimes it's cool to just create a shape. And once you like the overall shape language of it, then we can just clone it and play more and explore our own sculpt. I really, really like this. Black and gold. Man, the stuff we created last time I was at your place with Midjourney, all these characters, especially the black and gold ones, damn. Definitely crazy. A little scary. Oh, I like this a lot. Okay. I mean, I also had a Midjourney subscription, and I'm very, very sad that it's over now, but I generated like so many images and played with so much stuff. I have to digest that first, and then maybe I can get another subscription or another. It was definitely nice to play with. Oh, I feel like I'm entering the state where I worry too much. So I will just split things up. And try to look at it from afar. Make like bigger changes. I feel like I'm getting lost in details and I'm not in the stage where I want to worry about that too much. Maybe it's also a good sign when you're like zooming in too much and dealing with details very, very early in the process. Do I want something like this? Do I want to close it? Kind of like this negative space, but I think it's too heavy. The Marvel Universe should order masks from you. Yeah, if you know anyone who knows anyone, I'm here. I don't even know what it is about masks that fascinates me so much. Or I simply like the creation of them so much. I don't know. I actually don't even know. It's just super fun. Not quite satisfied with what I have here, but maybe just push this one down like so. I want it to be like a part of the mask, and for now it felt like this big object that was more like disturbing everything else. I was wondering why this looks somehow different than your other heads. I guess I'm not used to see hair in this guy from. This is actually how it started, where I said like today I want to do a lot of stuff simply different and play. So I'm usually not sculpting hair, and I think because I did the hair, I made different design decisions because now I have to worry about the hair and how that works with everything else, make space for it, make room for it. Same with the color palette that I usually don't like, but I actually already like it here. I mean, all of the stuff I do on Instagram and stuff is all for fun. It's all like my personal work that I just do. It's basically meditation. I can't stop doing it. I had like this big climb project for a very long time. And I felt miserable after a couple of months. And it was simply because it used up so much of my time, and I missed these free sculpts, like just for myself, just exploring, just having fun. No design brief, no goal. I really missed that. And now that I have it again, it just I feel so much better. It's like therapy. But I also think that now that I'm feeling better again, that this allows me or gives me like this kind of room to be playful and to experiment again. Because I also think that because there was like so much stress that it kind of sabotaged the creativity. Still struggling with this shape. So I think I just focus on something else for a while. Every time I'm stuck, I just switch to something else. Because there's no rush and I have time. I don't need to finish a particular piece right now. Because this is also how I want these like live sessions to be. I want them to be like very enjoyable for myself. I want them to be like, you know, hanging out with friends, chilling, creating something on the side. Without like, oh my God, I have to do like a rendering in the end, or it has to be this or that. I want to be free of all that. And this is sometimes how I start my days. It's just with a sculpt to get things rolling. That shape looks too much like Mickey Mouse or Big Ribbon. Yeah, I also had the ribbon in mind, but Mickey Mouse, now that you say it, I kind of want something on top, like she does something with her hair, or let's maybe just make it like much slimmer. I actually like this. So we have this contrast of like all these round shapes, and now we have this kind of straight line here. Kind of like that. And then we'll see what happens. I don't think the negative space also doesn't look good, so I'll definitely do something about it. But overall, I think it lost this kind of ribbon or ear look to it. Yeah, I like this much more. Maybe this could be like very geometric, very round. Okay, but again, not spending too much time on this one for now. Let's go back here. But see, sometimes now this kind of comment worked, right? Just you saying something, maybe going back with a different view, with a different goal, or like working on a different piece. And I love this about ZBrush so much. It feels so fluent. And when I'm teaching ZBrush, I'm always trying to get people into exactly this stage. You don't have to know like all of the different tools. As long as you can, you know, have like these basic brushes, you can control these basic brushes and know how to work with subtools and a little bit with color, then you already have like all the tools in the world to just dream and create and spend like most of your time actually creating and not in menus and all that stuff. Maybe it also helps to go up here and put some color on it. Maybe like fully red. Whew. It's a lot of red. back to the mask. Oh yeah, I actually had like this part down here that's still... Do I still like it? Not really. Let's make this shorter. So, yeah. Ooh, okay. I need a short toilet break. So I'll be back in a second. Right, back to sculpting. Ah. So I don't like what I drew up there. I'm also not too happy with these. They look like horns. I don't... The lower one looks okay, but the upper one, kind of weird. Delete. Oh yes. I like this part of the helmet, so it's cool that we can see it better now. Also looks good for better from the front. I like this. Yeah. Okay. So what about these top parts? Actually making this negative space even more interesting. Something like this maybe. Ah, that's too much. I like this hairline. Can sure have like smaller details up here, but nothing that changes the silhouette too much. I really like this kind of hair look here. Also reminds me of ice cream. That's probably why. I love ice cream. Okay. As a kid, I actually used to love this kind of green ice cream. What was it called? I don't know. Axel one, hey sexy man. Welcome, mate. All right. So I really like these changes up here. I think that's it for like the primary and secondary stuff. I think now we can get to some, I don't know if you can say that in 3D as well, like filigree. I knew that's what tattoo artists call it. It's not really Baroque or anything. It's just like small, ornate detail that can also be like a lot of fun to create. Yeah, I will model these shapes later in Cinema4D. They don't have to be perfect. Just want something I can work with later. Okay. Oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Crypto Brazixis. Thank you so much and welcome to the stream. Maybe ice cream with mint. It would fit the color. No, but actually in my childhood there was this like green ice cream. It's what was it called? I don't know if it's a German thingy. Waldmeister. Yes. Ooh, Waldmeister was good. Big fan. I have no clue what that is in English. Let me check really quick. What's Waldmeister in English? Sweet Woodruff. Sweet Woodruff. Or just Woodruff. I've never heard that before, so maybe it is a German thingy? I don't know. Okay. Do you sometimes Blender for modeling? No, but only because I'm so used to Cinema4D. So it's just that I've been working with Cinema4D for a very long time. But if I would start with 3D right now, I'd probably use Blender because it's free and seems very powerful. And I also think that the program itself is not that important. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably pick up Blender really fast because all these tools kind of translate. It's not, all these softwares have a lot of stuff in common. If you know ZBrush, you can probably sculpt in other applications as well. And if you can polymodel in Cinema4D, you can polymodel in any other application. So the way these things work is overall like the same. So I think the software is not that important. It's basically most about what you feel like comfortable with or what you can afford. Like I said, when I would start, I would probably use Blender. But yeah. I'm just so used to like this whole, like to all the tools really. I do a lot of, like, Cinema is basically my program where everything comes together. And I mean, I also started animating like not so long ago. And this feels just so good with ZBrush. Let me save. With Cinema4D, because all these parameters you have there, like all animatable. It's very, very intuitive. I like that. Okay, let's get back to this mask here. Polish that up a little bit. Damn, this looks scary. What happened? Ooh. Can we clean this up a little bit so it does not become a problem later? Close holes. Okay. Do you make rigging in Cinema4D? Yes. I mean, I rarely do rigging, just getting like into that. But all the animation stuff, including like simple rigs, so far is all done in Cinema4D. And I think they changed a lot of their rigging tools, right? Pretty recently. Recently, I mean like 1-2 years. I think they don't have this kind of subscription program for like very long. Is that okay if I push it back a little bit more? I think it's more about this kind of symmetry breaking silhouette here. Maybe we could bring it more to the front. It's actually, it already is. Okay. Actually funny how cool that looks just with like a little bit of Damon standard brush. That's all I did, and it already looks like hair. I think I'm already hooked on hair. It's super fun, and then looks really cool. Really like no reason to be afraid of it. I actually don't even know why I shied away from it for so long. I don't know. Do you also recording streams? I record all my streams. Some of my streams got lost because I had a crash and lost some data, or at least I cannot access it right now. But I've uploaded some of my streams on YouTube. I also have an intro to ZBrush on YouTube and some time lapses, and YouTube also gets like updates every week now. So yeah. I'm also recording this stream. I mean, I hope I do. Yeah. I pushed the right button. So I'm also recording this stream. And we'll upload it as well. It's also like, it's all like these little steps I have to do, but I'll do my best to upload it as soon as possible. Okay. I really like this. And it's already an hour. Doesn't feel like an hour. Not at all. Nice, nice. But on Twitch, you don't have any records? Yeah, because I'm small. And I think smaller accounts, the streams. I mean, I haven't been streaming for like over a month, maybe 2, because of a lot of stress and like a huge project I had to deal with first. So that's why I didn't stream. And that's why I don't see like new streams. Because I think they're only displayed for a week. If you have a bigger account, then I think it's safe up to a month or so. But yeah, I'm uploading all of these on YouTube so you can rewatch at your own pace. And I'll also do my best to stream regularly from now on. I mean, those of you guys who know me a little bit know that I do a lot. Sometimes too much. I'm getting excited easily. But I really enjoy these streams. Every time I stream, I say to myself, like, damn, this was so much fun again. So I should really stick to it. It's this cool feature called Clay Polish. I think it's also perfect for hair. Look at, damn, this works so good for hair. Clay Polish, nice. Okay. So now let's draw some detail onto this mask. First, polish this noise area here. Can be a bit broader. Okay. And I want to have, well, the mask is pretty big. Maybe I separate the front part. I'm not sure. And you're working like graphic designer? I was a graphic designer in the past. Actually, the first job I got after my studies was actually as an information designer. So it was some 3D, but I did everything from illustrating to infographics, 3D, animation, After Effects, lots of illustrations. But then over time, I became like the 3D guy of the firm. And then a couple of years later, I decided to go freelance. And that's where I'm now. Have you tried VR sculpting? I'm into VR and therefore picked up Adobe Medium. Ah. I tried it and I really like it. But the tools are far from where they are, for example, in ZBrush. I feel super slow with like some stuff in VR. I mean, ZBrush is probably the most advanced sculpting software out there, and they have like so many years like under their belt, right, of being like the industry standard or industry leader. For so many years, like their updates were just always so on point. I mean, you can probably hear that I'm a little fanboy. It's because like every time they came with an update, it was like, this is so crazy, this is amazing, this changes the workflow again and again and again, and it's so comfortable to work with. But I think VR definitely has its own place in a workflow. There's certain things that are just better in VR. For example, if I want to draw a hair and I want to draw it from here, over here, behind here, through here, and then back to the front. That would be pretty hard to do, especially in sculpting. I can draw a spline in 3D, but also that takes some time to set up. And in VR, you can just draw the perfect spline and perfect positions because you have this 3D space. It's super cool. So I think these tools will become more powerful. And then I can even imagine that you actually take your sculpt from ZBrush for some stuff into VR, or you start in VR, then go to ZBrush, back and forth probably. I can see that. And I'm actually excited by that, because then it means that from time to time we actually stand up and move our body. It's a good time to stretch. Oh, I should also have a timer for stretches. I agree to everything that you say. Yes. Job well done. Do you use Unreal Engine? I tried it, but it's a long time to learn. I'm definitely interested in learning it and then picking up skills with like Unreal Engine. Yes. But I can also, I can hear that you are also like me, like excited pretty quickly, and that you're like amazed by all the stuff and all the opportunities and possibilities that we have. But be careful, because if you do everything a little, you can do nothing really good. I would always encourage people to be like very aware of that fact, that yes, of course, you can do everything, but will you ever get good at anything? And I would rather spend a lot of time in ZBrush, maybe even dedicate a few years just into ZBrush, just getting good at it. And then I move on to something else I want to learn. And my list is very long. I'm getting into like more and more into Marvelous Designer and creating like garments, because I really love this. And again, it's a different kind of workflow, right? It doesn't feel like 3D at all. Now, all of a sudden you make patterns and have to think in terms of patterns and how they are created. So it's more like a pattern maker. It's more like a tailor. I like that. It's again, like very diverse. And there's so much to learn, and it's also fun. Also like the whole rigging and auto rigging and these cool suits that we have now that make rigging so much easier. Or this whole like green screen technology that also boosts like Unreal Engine and video or film production. This is probably the time for indie films. I mean, I think this will be crazy in the upcoming years. Making films has become so much cheaper comparing to where it once was. This will change. I'm very sure this will change the whole industry. All these young filmmakers now all of a sudden are able to do like crazy big projects that were impossible a couple of years ago. So I think, yes, Unreal Engine is super powerful. I will probably get into it at some point, but not now. Now my focus is simply somewhere else. Curve is too strong. But I can go in here and just polish that edge. Maybe just do it by hand. I think it's okay fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. I even said that I will probably do that in Cinema4D anyway. So I don't know why I'm spending so much time on it. This was the perfect example of explaining something, and then all of a sudden you're not really doing anything. You're just like pushing and pulling a little bit, and nothing really changes. I'm just slow in ZBrush, so at the moment, not a benefit for me. I would not focus on speed. I really like this. Fluent, slow becomes fluent, and fluent becomes fast. It's really about getting used to all these tools. And once you are fluent, you will get faster. I mean, I did this in an hour now. And I think that's very exciting. To create something like this in an hour is just amazing. It's so fun. It feels rewarding to look back and be like, I did this. This is just a very, very rewarding feeling overall. And the thing is, you will be slow at everything you start learning. And if you have the option to either learn ZBrush or some other sculpting application, I would probably start with ZBrush because it's the industry standard for a reason. The way I sculpted with many different applications, and the tools in ZBrush just feel best. Like how the pressure sensitivity works and how these different brushes work, it's just amazing. 3D Modeler is interesting. You can use it in VR. "3D Modeler, what is it? Are you talking about the Z Modeler? Or is 3D Modeler actually the name of a program? No, I won't do this now. Let's actually go to the head and do like some cool details here. Shoop, 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 shoop. Just randomly drawing stuff and see if I like something. Can take it away again. I'm looking more at like negative space right now and what it does. I don't know what these elements will actually look like later on. I'm just trying to figure out where I put it. Oh, Adobe Substance 3D Modeler. Yeah, the friend where I did the 3D sculpting, the VR sculpting, had that, but I think for some reason we couldn't get it to run on that day. Something was off. I don't know what it was. Adobe Medium is discontinued. Did they buy it and Adobe Substance is basically the new medium now? Do you know that? Actually, what if we have these bigger chunks down here? No, no, no. I think I want to keep this space very clean. Okay, I don't even know what this is here right now, but let's extract it. Whoa! This was a lot. So maybe let's turn this down. Extract. Better. Okay. Make it brighter. Not as greenish. Yeah, something like that. Oh, okay. So as I thought, they bought it and now they're working on it. But is it like in beta now? Can you already like access it or? Oops, wrong tool. I want my selection tool. And then just get rid of everything I masked back there. Delete hidden. I like the fact that I'm splitting stuff up while smoothing. I don't want these parts to be like too big. I want them separate. Because when they're separate, I have like more to play with. And I really like this move topological brush. Because then you can start like moving stuff around. And when the topology isn't touching, you only change. You only affect this kind of polygon island that you clicked on. So I think that's very cool. Oh, it's a public beta. Okay, that's cool. But then I really have to talk to my one friend again and run some more tests. Because it was really cool. I really enjoyed sculpting in VR and could clearly see like the benefits. Especially if you have like workflows that create like cleaner topology or actually something you can use later on. I think that's super exciting. Auto groups so I can mask some of these parts easily. I'm really a fan of your work. It's amazing. Thank you so much, man. How do I pronounce your name? Will this mask shine? This could be shiny gold stuff, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided. For now, it's still the having fun and playing around phase. Is it like, is it one word? Is it two words? Is it three words? Crypto, Brazzy, Crypto, Brazzy? Help me out here, man. Help me out. Help a brother out. Yeah, I know, I know. But why is it still disabled? It's Czech language. It means crypto painting. Oh, I see. So Brazzy is painting? Or Brazzy? Okay, so I used auto masking on my move brush, but I turned it off again. And now I can't get into Sculptress Pro mode. Where did I make the mistake? Sometimes I push buttons too fast and then I don't know what I did. And the easiest way to get around that is to just save and restart the program. Okay. How long did you train before you were able to model like that? Wait a sec. Just have to open. I have to find the stream. Oh, here it is. Sculpting like this. I started sculpting when I was still studying, but then I didn't had like much time for it. So I took like a big break because in my job I wasn't like really using it. But then I used ZBrush. At some point I decided to just do ZBrush every day and to do some sculpts every day. And a year later, they decided to get ZBrush or buy ZBrush for the firm, or for me, because I was at that point the only person working with it. And that was 5 years ago, I think. And then I had like phases where I used ZBrush more and less, really depending on, you know, the jobs I got as a freelancer. So yeah, something along these lines. And modeling itself, or like in 3D, I've been doing 3D since I was little. So probably that's like 18 years, 15 years, long time. But I cannot stress enough, like you can get fast to this point of where you just create and where you don't worry about the tools anymore. It really, it's all about like consistency. Just like with like going to the gym, you know, you have to be consistent. And the problem with like skills like this is that you don't see that you're getting better. I actually like this gym analogy. Like when you go to the gym, there's no praise. Nobody is telling you, oh, this is so amazing. And then you don't see your own progress. You just have to go every week, a couple of times a week, and convince yourself that this is, or convince your body that this is how it's going to be from now on. And no matter what happens, you will hit the gym. And it's the same with like 3D stuff and sculpting. And you just have to do it. You have to practice. You have to put in the hours. Like this kind of 10,000 hour rule, I guess, right? And you can get there pretty fast. Or like the first 1,000 hours. Just like having fun. Feeling like a little kid who just can't stop. It feels amazing. And then I think you make this kind of progress really fast. when I do like little ornaments like this, I kind of like the fact that it's all like super loose and it's like random shapes, and then I have to kind of make them work somehow. You saw how it was in the beginning, right? It was just like some random stuff. Then you kind of try to make it work. What kind of jobs does one do with sculpting, actually, apart from concept models or models for gaming? You're a motion designer, okay. No use for motion design at the moment. It depends on what kind of motion design you do. For example, I use ZBrush a lot for like ideation. I feel the way I create stuff here is much more free than jumping into like polygon modeling, for example, right away. And then I go to ZBrush and then I make like a cleaner version of it, and then I animate that. There are also ways to just take the models you create here, do like a very quick and dirty like retopo to have something to work with. And then maybe you throw that in Substance, and then you can put that into After Effects again. And I mean, I think there are many ways to get stuff, to get like 3D stuff into visual graphics, motion graphics. I do like all kinds of different stuff as a freelancer, from like characters, character design, concept design, to very like classic 3D visualization. And I like the fact that I'm allowed to like do all that different stuff. That's part, for me, that's part of the fun that 3D offers. Oh shit. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, like what I said, sometimes you hit stuff very fast and you don't think about it that much. But I get what you say, right? If you want to animate things, stuff has to be like very clean, or the sculpts you do just doesn't seem to have like an application if it's not classic concept or character design or stuff like that. I definitely see where your question is coming from. For me, I mean, only recently people started coming to me because they want to work with me as an artist. Before that, it was me being a 3D artist, and I just did what the client wanted to do, you know. And now it's not like 100% transition, but now I'm starting to get jobs because of my art, because of the way I design things and I do things. And then they want like they hire me because they want my handwriting on it somehow. And then I just end up using whatever I like using to get me to the results I want. So who knows? What I'm trying to say is, maybe as a motion designer, maybe for the stuff you do, I don't know, I haven't seen what you do, right? But maybe you can find clients who want exactly what you have created, who want exactly something that only you have done. Because there are not many people who do motion design and sculpting, for example. I don't know if that makes sense, right? But I think you can create that for yourself. And not everything has to make sense. If you enjoy sculpting and you enjoy this process, then hey, keep sculpting. keep having fun. I 100% just, if you enjoy it, if you like it, just keep doing it. Not everything has to make sense. Even if this is like pure enjoyment for a few years, who knows what can like come out of it at some point that you don't even plan or look for. Whoops. That was a lot of zoomed in, working on some details. So I had to zoom out and see if what I'm doing is actually working. Should have done that way earlier. Usually I also render much earlier. I haven't done like a single like rendering. Oftentimes I send stuff over to Cinema4D just to see how it goes and how it looks like with light and shadow. But I kind of enjoy this process right here so much that I'm not too worried. I can make this stuff work later. I don't like this area here. Flows weirdly, looks random, also very big shape-wise. Yes, something smaller like this already looks better. Just push it into the object. That was the solution. Yeah, we're not worrying how it actually looks like here. I rarely actually clean up these kind of ornamental details, but I have to do it sometimes. Because this is a lot of retopo work. Or maybe for small stuff like this, like auto retopology plus like good normal maps is actually the way to go. That's something I will definitely try. And again, that's something, you know, that's the fun part. I will just do it because I need to make it work. I want to make it work. I think it's interesting. Finding like your own solutions, of course, also comes with time and experience. But I can also like encourage to just experiment and have fun and find these own solutions yourself. Because it doesn't always have to be like super complicated. Sometimes you just come up with something that nobody else has thought of, or these kind of little things you do to your renders or your sculpts that are just so you know? That has like your handwriting all over it. And I think that happens if you have this kind of mentality while working to make your own mistakes, find your own solutions. It's great that you transition slowly to that point. Congrats. Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it feels very rewarding when people like come to you for the things that you enjoy most, 100%. But on the other hand, it's a little dangerous because this was basically my safe haven, you know. This is like art is the stuff that I do just for myself, where I don't have to talk to like an art director or client. I can make all these decisions just for myself. And maybe I also asked myself this question, like maybe I want to keep this for myself. I don't know. Now I'm taking jobs and everything, yes, but it also means that you professionalize something that before that just belonged to you. If that makes any sense. And I think it's important that you do some stuff just for yourself because you enjoy it. I know illustrators, for example, they do not draw anything for themselves anymore. They've done so much and so much client work. They come home and they don't want to draw, which I think is super sad. But yeah, like I said, I can encourage you to just have fun, spend time in it and with it. We are so focused on like always having that results, always having something to show or share. Taking this pressure off of yourself, especially when you're a beginner, is super helpful. Bye bye, Aliona. It was nice having you. I'm also looking forward to what I will do with it and how it looks rendered, and if I find a way to animate it or if it will just be a still image. Bye bye. These details definitely take time. Because the thing is, every time I do them fast, they just don't look good. Because then they're probably, I don't know what it is, probably too random and they kind of have to work with each other. Or maybe I lack practice, but when I try to do like these filigree details too fast, it always ends up looking bad. You can see it. You can see that I tried to I actually tried that like 2 weeks ago. I tried to do this kind of stage with like little design with like little detail on a mask. I tried to do that fast. It looked horrible. It looked super bad. Maybe there's some stuff. There are no shortcuts. Or maybe I lack the skill to make it work, the experience. Who knows? Or maybe it comes down to like all these like deliberate decisions you actually have to do here. Probably lots of small choices. And that can't be rushed. So do we need the detail on the side of the mask? I think so. But for time's sake, because it's already almost 2 hours, I think I will delete those and copy some of these shapes we have here already. So let's see. Auto groups. Oh, this was all one part. Okay. Split hidden. So let's see if we can reuse that somehow. I especially like the front part, so I'll probably get rid of everything else. Let's solo it for a minute. Hidden close holds. Okay. Auto groups again. Split. I just want this tiny piece here. The cool thing about reusing stuff that you've already sculpted is it already has the design language that you decided to use. So you don't have to be like too worried and actually making that work with what you already have. Claudio, I have to go. See you later. Okay. Okay, let's use this for now. Let's copy this shape in here. Split hidden. Split unmasked. See if we can use that somehow. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to, it's like one of the oldest tricks in the book for like 3D stuff. You know, like this edge here where just, I just pushed two objects into one another, but now I can just hide that edge with yet another object, create lots of detail, make it all look it works perfectly together. But it's just some smart like overlaps. So let's mirror it as well. Ooh, I actually like this a lot. I will probably clone that a few more times. At this point, I'm looking at the clock because I want to stream for like about 2 hours and also want to have like some kind of result for myself. I mean, I can come back for like rendering, but I kind of want to have like this first look at it still like during the stream. So I'm trying to get this to a stage where I can jump over to Cinema4D and do a quick rendering. All right. So let's push this forward because I want to clone this whole thing. Rotate it a little bit. And again. I don't care about it being like super clean. Simple shapes like this can be like easily created with clean topology and Cinema4D later. So it's just about the overall like idea. Okay. Could we take this whole thing and use it somewhere else? Maybe. I don't know if that's too much. I actually like this transition here between the two shapes, and now we don't see that. Maybe down here. Whoop, that was the autosave. The cool thing about making this decision to bring this to an end is that you can see that all of a sudden I'm making like bigger changes again. And I think there is this kind of rule, and there is an actual word for it, but I don't know it right now. And it says that whatever time you set for something, it will take that long. And I think this is what we see here. Once I decided that it will take 10 minutes to finish the sculpt, I make decisions differently. And I think this is very, very cool also when you practice to be like aware of this fact. And that's something that we can use to our advantage. Gravity on Grave. Welcome, mate. Thank you so much. All right, so I think I'm really happy with the sculpt. Yes, there's more to do, and I will do more with like the ornament work and stuff, 100%. But overall, I really like the result. Been a long time. Yes, definitely. I tried to remember, I think it was it like actual 2 months now for streaming. I'm also getting to ZBrush. Nice. It's fun to watch you creating. I don't know how far you've come already. I have an intro to ZBrush on YouTube. And I'll definitely try to stream once a week again. That will be super cool because I'm really enjoying these. Okay, so let's take this and do like a quick render. So the most quick and dirty way to do it is merge visible. Now we have 1.8 million polygons. So let's use the decimation master. Pre-process. And then we can bring this down by like 80%. And that usually works quite well. Yes, I'm saving all these streams for YouTube. I also want, like in general, to put like more stuff onto YouTube week to week now. Like overall workflow, time lapses, the streams. And at some point when I got used to like talking and working and doing stuff again, then I can also see myself doing like more workshops, or after my intro to ZBrush, maybe record it again or do the next version. for my intro to ZBrush, introducing more tools, maybe also modeling, polygon modeling in Cinema4D. Maybe a there's so much stuff you can do, right? But first I have to get into it. It's all about consistency. Decimate looks weird because we have both enabled. Decimate takes away the color, but that's fine because it was mostly, I only did some painting on the nose and mouth, but that's okay for now. All right, then let's send this over to Cinema4D. When you said you started ZBrush just now, I now have an official mentorship program. Maybe that's something for you. There's a link, I think, on Twitter and probably also on Instagram, like my link tree. And there you should find the Gumroad link. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Let's go for like the classic Instagram ratio here. Okay, cool. And then, oh, I actually have like a single screen layout. That's probably better for you guys, so you see what I'm doing. Just a very quick, light, quick and dirty HDRI. When picking HDRIs, I'm looking for stuff that has like traditional light setups. For example, now I'm picking something that has like a typical like top light situation. It's literally just a garage with like some big light on top. So I figured this could be quite good for this kind of portrait. I also have other HDRIs. We have like 2 big light sources on the side and stuff. So I try to pick them in terms of where does like the main light source come from and what does that do to the model and what colors do I have in the HDRI, because sometimes I just want something quick. I really like clay renders, by the way. Okay, this looks already quite interesting. But the scene overall still is a little slow because it's a lot of polys. That's the only downside I feel to Cinema4D. There are other programs that can handle lots of polys, especially also like unclean topology. I think Cinema can handle good quad topology definitely much better. So I don't know why I don't have this change here. Ah, I see, that's why. I did not delete the hair on the original model. Now it's green. Oh yeah, okay, okay. I can see this work out. So all I'm doing is like selecting polygon islands and then splitting them so I can give them a color to get like quite a quick overview of how everything works. I think I even had the face quite bright. Yeah. But going into this whole like scene setup and rendering would take too much time. What I'm doing when I'm working in ZBrush and then just, you know, throwing it in here to have like a better look, then I usually just do one material. all in a group. And then like some kind of dirt to separate the shapes better. I mean, now it's pretty clear because of the design. But I really like throwing a dirt in there. Now you see that all these shapes are, even though it's still a clay, even though it's still all the same color, that everything is like separated much better. Of course, you can make this effect very strong, very dark. You can also use this map to color objects, which I also really like. Especially like the inverted version, right? So you can use this kind of black and white or gray value map to drive colors on your object, which I think is pretty cool. But I think that's it for now. Ooh, this was a very fun session. I'm so happy I'm finally back at it, and we'll make sure that the next stream is next week. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and taking your time on this Wednesday to chill with me and hang out. Yeah, so have a nice day and see you on the next stream. Bye.